Howdy YouTube, just thought I'd do a little update since I haven't posted a video in a while. So the 20-gallon high, coming along quite nice. It changed up a bit. I moved one of the bromeliads out and then did get this new one right there. Well, that one would be a Neoregalia Cheers. Pretty sure I have a couple of those guys. I know the one I moved into the other tank was as well. I'm pretty sure that one up top might be as well, but I know that one is different. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head. Sorry about the stutter. But I did also add. But he's being pretty for me. I'll focus that in there. But I did also get some baby tears, which are right behind him. Cannot tell if that's focused. That's coming along quite well. Just put those in last night, and it's amazing to see how much they bounce back and start reaching towards the light. Because they're raising up quite a bit. Hey, buddy. Sorry, really hard to tell if it's focused on this little screen. Something weird's going on. I'm getting a lot of bubbles from the water trickling down from this little drip wall feature I got going on. Did a little bit of water change. Tried to get some of this gross algae out, but it just grows so much because I have really good lights over this tank. I actually have a dual T5 unit. I was going to point that up. That's pumping a ton of light, and I get amazing growth and color out of my plants, so I can't really complain for a little algae. Anyway, that is him. Unfortunately, I did actually lose my other dart frog. I'm not really sure what was going on. I did run out of fruit flies for a couple days, but it wasn't really long enough for him to starve. But the other one was looking skinny. This guy has always been the healthiest, always been the biggest. I'm pretty sure he just muscled the other one out of food for too long, and then me not being able to find fruit flies. The combination of the two definitely was probably the cause. Sucks when you only really have one place to get fruit flies, and even then that's a bit of a drive. But I definitely do take responsibility for that, one way or the other. It was a loss, and I'm gonna have to get him some friends in here, because I don't want him to be alone. Even though they definitely can be alone, but he's been social his whole life. Anyway, moving on from the dart frogs, because I can't make this video take too long. Whoop. Little sneaky little Malaysian leaf frog. Wasn't really going to put him in this video. There he is. He's just out of his little hole, rocking around. Pothos I put in here, not doing well, but I do only have a really crappy light over this. I moved my other plant light to another tank that I just thought just needed a little bit more. So moving on, talk about my discus a little bit, not too much. I did have to switch up their tank. Oop, heater came off, but it's still safe level anyway. But the color's looking horrible. Wow. I'm gonna switch lights because the light I have on it in that strip I really need to replace, because it's just I believe a 5000K plant light from like Zoomed, and it's just an ugly color, but it's the only bulb I really have at the moment, and I haven't really sprung for other bulbs. But here's just a full spectrum bulb. Glass is a lot worse than I thought it was. Sorry about that. But as you can see, I did take the driftwood out because I got a pleco, and he took it upon himself to try very hard to get under that piece of driftwood, which was also tied down to a piece of slate. So in turn, I don't know if you can see him back there, golden bushy nose, looking nice and gold behind the sponge filter. But yeah, he did rip up his one side, so I took that piece of driftwood out, and he's healing back up. So I'm probably going to put something back in here, because obviously it's pretty bare, but this is just a grow up tank. I just got a lot of algae going on. That's why I got the pleco. But these guys will be moving into a pretty big tank in about 2-3 months, so I can get a few more of these guys and a nice big planted tank going on. Aside from the discus, they're still doing well and everything, still eating like champs. Big orange guy still being a dick. I did change up the mossy frog tank as well. Completely redid this one. Actually, last time mossies all would have been in a smaller tank, which is over there, now empty. I decided to put them all in together because I did have my original big male in here with a cresty gecko. You can see off in that corner. It did stop the breeding. I was kind of expecting that. Haven't found any more eggs since the move, but I did figure I'd freak them out. I've got enough eggs and tadpoles really that I felt comfortable with anyway. So I decided I was going to move them in with my bigger mossy. The crested gecko probably will end up coming out of this tank. One of the first nights I had them all in here, I did see one of the smaller mossies take a jump at his foot. Did let go. Since then I haven't seen any issues. My desk is right here, so I watch this tank a lot at night, and there hasn't really been any issues since. So I don't really know if I want to downgrade the crested gecko into the 12x12x18 when he's always been in this tank for a couple of years. Well, not a couple, but a year and a half. It might still happen. I did add some more plants in here. I got a money tree up here, more pothos, some wandering Jew that for some reason isn't really doing much, but it's doing alright. One of the bromelia I took out, which almost certain that one's a cheers. And this plant down here, I cannot recall the name offhand, but you can hate on me for that if you want. I did have a little extra baby tears. I'm not sure if I want to put it in here. I don't really believe that's safe, just in case the mossy frogs do ingest it, because they do kind of leap at stuff with their mouths open sometimes, so that's a little sketchy. Water feature's doing good. You can see, got some white cloud minnows in here. I love these fish. Had them in a few terrariums. These guys are terrarium vets by now, as well as 2 feeder guppies. Before I changed up this tank, I was getting really fed up with how gross and still it looked, so I did throw in some feeder guppies. Only 2 made it. Not even sure if they're still in here, but the white clouds I know are almost bulletproof, so I don't really need to worry about them. But yeah, a little water feature cave, because something I've learned about mossy frogs is they do actually love caves, especially ones involving a water feature. The older one loves it. The newer guys haven't really gotten too used to the water yet. In this tank, since they've moved, they all kind of been hanging out in this area. There's one down there, one right there, other guy up top. Big guy, always down under this thing. Where they would be in the wild, these guys would be found near waterfalls, little crevices in the rock that would be filled with water. So they do like the damp, dark cave idea. That's more or less the reason I've kind of stuck with this look. Just to keep my big guy Kiro happy, because I do love that frog. So it really got me into frogs, so him being happy is what's the key. So that's pretty much it for this tank, but I do have an update as far as the tadpoles go. Got tons going on right now. Sorry for these guys being a bit dirty and this being the most awkward way to film, but here we go. So here's the big original guy. He's actually massive right now. We just got a little bit of Java moss in there with him. Not really going to be able to get a shot. Oh shit, you might be able to see it here if I can focus to save my life. Oh, alright, well you can kind of see the dark thing right there. That is legs. So he did start popping some legs a couple days ago. So that's just so exciting to see, because this is my first round as far as breeding these frogs. So he is the first and biggest. And then moving on, I've got another 6 decently along There's these guys. I will have to separate this guy because he started growing a lot faster than the others. Not a big deal. I was going to have to separate them all eventually. Just going to happen a little sooner. The other 6 from that clutch, again, one eating more food, getting bigger. And then just over the last couple days, I've gotten these guys here. One of them I just found this morning, and the other one was a couple days before. He was definitely early. I guess you guys can almost see them in most of the stages of development. You guys definitely get an update when front legs start happening, but there's them just about to burst. And then start flipping around in here, and I'll scoop them out. But yeah, probably at least one tomorrow, I'm guessing, and then the others are just soon to follow. But anyway, guys, that's most of the room. I'll give you an update coming up on the leopard geckos and maybe the bearded dragon, but mostly it's just going to be about the frogs and whatnot. Leopard geckos haven't changed too much, but if I do get into breeding those guys, updates will happen then. But yeah, have a good day, everybody.